And now let's talk about the European support of Ukraine with the Ukrainian diplomat and the ambassador of Ukraine to Austria in 2014-2021, Olexander Scherba. So, Alexander, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So, nearly half of the energy infrastructure of Ukraine has been destroyed or severely damaged by the shelling. It's quite clear that the main aim of Russian terroristic action is to make a full blackout throughout the whole country. Do the Ukrainian authorities have a plan to build the so-called protection umbrellas for the energy infrastructure? What's your opinion?
Well, it's difficult to make plans amid war. People survive one day at a time, 1 week at a time, depending on where the enemy shells next and which energy object he will destroy next. I cannot speak for the authorities for sure, but it is my feeling and assumption that the contingency plan on our part is basically to repair whatever we can as fast as we can, as fast as we get supplied by our Western partners with necessary spare parts.
Yeah, but don't you think that prevention is the best recipe in this situation?
We cannot prevent Russia from shelling our objects. We can definitely protect our at least some of our energy objects as long as we have the necessary anti-aircraft equipment. And we are getting it. But unfortunately, the thing is with our Western partners that they give us what we need, but with some
schedule.
A bit belatedly, yeah.
Yeah, but this is why I got another question. So we have already seen the positive prospects of Ramstein sessions. Do we have to expect the similar one in the energy system? Let's call it like an energy Ramstein.
Well, we have energy Ramstein since March or April, and since March, I think, when the European Union created a special fund to support Ukraine in the energy field that is operated by Energy Community in Vienna. The director of this fund was here, the Polish diplomat Artur Lorkowski. He was here 2 weeks ago. He had lots and lots of meetings on the governmental level. I do hope that the meetings were productive. I met with him. He was rather optimistic. He said the necessary money is finally given, supplied, donated to this fund. Just the question is once again to be fast enough to give whatever necessary, whatever Ukraine finds necessary.
Yes, to be just one step ahead is all we need right now to protect the energy system. Which Ukrainian region is the most vulnerable to the full shutdown right now?
Well, I cannot single out one region, but obviously the closer you are to the occupiers, the more vulnerable you are. And we see it in the news basically every night before noon. The day before yesterday it was Dnipro, yesterday it was Kryvyi Rih. I don't know who will be next, but usually it's one of the neighboring oblasts. So long we are holding up, of course, but it's getting more and more difficult. And it's quite obvious right now that Kiev is moving more and more to the focus of this terrorist country called Russia. They want the spirit of civilians, first of all, in the capital city down.
Yeah, that's totally true, because I live at the very center of Kiev. So do I have to move to the village and start collecting wood in face of the tough winter?
That's the same case with me. I also live in Kiev downtown, very close to all these, dangerous objects that could be the targets of the next attack. And of course, as all Kievites, I think about, what would be happening if there is this full
So,
blackout.
what
My
are you
parents
gonna
live on
do?
the outskirts of Kiev, and they have a house with fireplace. So in the worst case scenario, I move to them.
Yeah, okay. So, just right after the program, could you give me the address? If it's possible, we'll join you.
Very good.
Thank you. Thank you for being with us today. That was Olexander Scherba, the Ukrainian diplomat, ambassador of Ukraine to Austria in 2014-2021.